Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. We're back with the Euro 2020 semi-finals and we're going to be predicting how this is going to work ahead of Sunday's final. Is it coming home? Will it be Italy versus England? Will it be Spain versus Denmark? We're going to get into all that, all the finer detail, all the predictions. Why I think we will get extra time and penalties in one of the semi-finals, but which one will it be in? But first of all, as you can see next to me, we are sponsored by the lovely people at OneFootball for this show. With this being the That's Football channel, it only makes sense to have OneFootball as the sponsor, as we're the number one place for football news and other news and debate on YouTube, and they are the number one place for online for all your live scores, football, transfer news and up-to-date content surrounding your favourite clubs and leagues. So it's a match made in heaven, and as you can see from the video next to me, the OneFootball app is super sleek, simple to use, and a basic must-have for any football fan who is watching the Euros this Euros season or interested in your transfer news. So what you're waiting for, head to the description below and download it for free using the link provided. And thanks again to OneFootball for sponsoring the show and stream. Now let's move on with it. And as I say, the link in the video description is there and it is free to download and get all your latest news and stats and everything like that. Let's get on with the show. Euro 2020 semi-final predictions. How's this going to go? Tonight, we've got the first watch-along, which you can join me for, which is Italy against Spain. Obviously, this is at Wembley. Both games at Wembley. Bear that in mind. 60,000 fans at both games. Good atmospheres. What an atmosphere. I love a football match with a lovely atmosphere. And I think it's... look, we'll talk about England-Denmark in a minute. But the reality is... we got some news from the UK government last night that we're going to be opening up everything on the 19th of July. So, what's that? Just over 2 weeks away. And we'll have 60,000 fans in the grounds for the next two games and the final. So there is going to be atmosphere there and that's going to make a big difference. And, there has been games in this tournament where it's felt a little bit subdued, Hampden Park and a couple of others. So it'd be great. It's semi-final time. We're actually going to get grounds with atmospheres in there for these big three games. One thing that really jumps to me is that I do think we'll get extra time in one of these games, and that therefore your potential for penalties goes up. But I don't feel that this tournament has been like other tournaments whereby you do get long drawn out games, and I don't know what the stats are on that. I don't know whether there's less extra time and penalties in this tournament than there has been in other tournaments. It certainly feels like it, but somebody will probably say actually statistically there was less in such and such a tournament. But I do think teams are playing more on the front foot. I do think the tempo of the games is a lot quicker. I've been really impressed by the quality of football. I mean, I think you're always going to get in the group stage. I think the group stage is always, this is the best tournament ever. Then you hit the knockout stage and it can get a bit pragmatic because people don't want to lose. I don't think we've seen that, and I don't think we'll see it tonight with Italy against Spain, and I don't think we'll see it with England Denmark as well. What you might see is two teams cancelling each other out. But with Italy and Spain, my prediction is that Italy will win this in normal time. I think they'll probably win it 2-1. I think that the Italian defence will be more than happy dealing with what Spain's got up front, whether that's Morata or Moreno. These are not players that I think cause massive problems for the Italian defenders. I think Lukaku did, and they dealt with him quite well in the last round, but I don't think they will. Watch Morata go and score a hat-trick now. But I don't think they will, and I think this is a game that suits Italy far more than Belgium did, and they dealt with them. Yes, the loss of Spinazzola is big, but they can bring Emerson in. They've got massive depth in their squad, and their front three. Immobile was terrible in the quarterfinal against Belgium. Will he start? If he doesn't, they've got Belotti, Chiesa came in, they've got Berardi, they've got Insigne, they've got Bernardeschi. Their midfield, they didn't even use Locatelli in the last game. You could use Locatelli in the Spinazzola role as well. You could just drop him in on that left-hand side. So there's lots and lots of things Italy can do. I think their tactics, their tempo, their adaptability have been the standout part of this tournament. And for me, Italy are the team of the tournament. So I think they will beat Spain. Spain, look, I've got to say, I think some people are sleeping on Spain. Spain can win this game. I don't want them to win this game because I feel like Spain, they haven't really entertained. They've had their time as well. Spain winning a Euros is not a shock, is it? I want to see a shock, and I want that shock to be 3 Lions. But I do think that Spain could grind something out here. This could be the game that goes to extra time. And if it goes to penalty, it's a flip of a coin, isn't it? But I don't think Spain are on the level that Italy are on. And I expect Italy to win that. So I'm going to go 2-1. But don't sleep on Spain. They could produce something out of this. They've certainly, I think, grown in the tournament quite interestingly, Spain. They're still in the tournament. and they'll fancy their chances. But I think Italy will have too much for them. I think I'm going to go 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if this game was over by half time. I think Italy have that in them to really put Spain to the sword, and I would be very shocked if Spain won this game in 90 minutes. On to England versus Denmark. Well, look, I'll do a preview in the morning about how I think we should line up, but in a global sense, in a helicopter view, I think that this game I think will be a good game, but I think it's got the potential to cancel each other out. I think England have got to go on the front foot without being too offensive. I don't want to see a back five with 2 holding midfielders against Denmark. I think that kills the momentum of what England can do. I think Denmark are well organised, and I think this game, unfortunately, as an England fan, could easily go extra time. And if you hit extra time, there's a very big chance it'll go to penalties. I think it's a hard game to read because I don't see it being a game that's, I think if England go and win this game 2 or 3-0, I'd be massively impressed. I would love that to happen. I don't see it being like that. I think Denmark are too well organised, too energetic, and obviously, they've been very good in this tournament as well. I don't want them to be classed as a well-organised crap national team. They're not. They've got quality players, as we know, and I think they can cause England some problems. I certainly think if England can keep a clean sheet in this game, it'll be huge because I fancy us to score. But I wouldn't go for the back five to do that. I think that this has got 60,000 fans. Most are going to be English. The atmosphere is going to be fantastic. How do you keep an atmosphere going? You give it something to feed off. And it's like, pour the petrol on the fire, or you're going to put water on the fire. And I think if you go with the back five and say, let's be pragmatic, you're going to dampen the crowd. You need that crowd up. And how do you get that crowd up? You generate opportunities. You're exciting. You make chances. And I think if England do that, they'll win the game. And again, I said this before, this tournament is all about Southgate. He's got the tools to do the job. And if he doesn't deliver, then I think it will be on Southgate. That doesn't mean he doesn't get a new contract. I think he does get a new contract now. I don't think anybody can really moan about that. But this is the best opportunity England will ever have. It doesn't matter whether you're English, Scottish, Welsh, it doesn't matter. They have a massive opportunity, and there is an expectation that we will blow that opportunity. But we have to grab it. I think back to Euro 96, I was old enough. That game was not Terry Venables going into it playing defensive football. He tried to win the game, and it just didn't happen. And I think tomorrow or today or whenever you're watching this video, that's what England need to do. They need to go on the front foot. Again, I'm going to say England win this. If it goes to penalties, I'm terrified. I really am. I think Kasper Schmeichel is a very intimidating goalkeeper, and I would back Schmeichel ahead of Pickford. I hope Pickford delivers, but I would. I feel this game will be 2-1 as well, and I think it'll be 2-1 to England, but which means we get the Italy-England final, which I'm going to still predict. But I do think that, look, I'd love England to win 3-0, and I think Italy could beat Spain quite convincingly, but I think that it'll be 2-1 in both games, and I think one of them will go to extra time, and therefore we could get penalties, which is very, very nervous for any team, isn't it? I mean, I don't like penalties at this stage of the tournament, but it's drama, it's exciting, and I'll be very surprised if we don't get extra time in at least in one of these games, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, look, that's what I think. I'm going to go 2-1 to England, 2-1 to Italy against Spain, which will leave an Italy-England final, which I think is what everybody wants. But I do think we'll get extra time in one of those games. We've got both games coming up as a watch-along. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe and tune in tonight from 7:30. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you download the OneFootball app. Link is in the video description. It's free. You can get all your football news, all your stats, everything you need in there. And I'll speak to you a little bit later on. Thanks for watching.